Hello, it's me. Alright. I'm glad you enjoyed. Always good when I get to riff with Dave. Alright. So, already, what's going on? He rode a stone horse.
Zan has saved Gabriel once more. His arrival most fortuitous. Gabriel now enters the outskirts of the vampire's territory. A cold winter has gripped this land for centuries, driving out the inhabitants to warmer climes. Those stubborn enough to stay have contended with the cold death that visits them each and every night, taking their loved ones away forever. The vampires thrive in the cold and terrorize the living who crave warmth and companionship. This night a warrior will come, a knight in shining armor with death at his side. He comes for you, creatures of the night.
Wow. He comes for you, creatures of the night. It's funny to me how often the music just drops in this game. No, just getting an idea down. I'm not gonna work on this. I just want to get this comp down before I lose it. God, I hate tricksy goblins. Hate them almost as much as I love them. Do-do-do-do. Oh, you know what? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Ah, fuck. Ah, my arm. He wanted to be a
This
vampire.
village is one of the last vestiges of human civilization left in this place of death and cold. It lies not far from the vampire's castle, our next objective. I have some matters to attend to here, matters that could spoil our plans. I will deal with them and try to rendezvous with Gabriel later. He has not slept in days, not since the girl. The pain is etched on his face still, but in his soul only hatred drives him. We will not speak of it. He must not know I have seen everything, that I have followed him this far.
Stalking Patrick. Not cool, dude.
Thank God that you are still among the living, my friend.
The Lycan Lord has been defeated. I have his power. What happened here?
I congratulate you on your victory. But these fellows were not so fortunate. Word has spread of our quest. The vampire clan have slaughtered this entire village. And now, they're expecting us. That abbey. I am told the abbot possesses an ancient relic that harnesses the power of the sun. It is said to be capable of burning vampires and reducing them to ashes. That relic protects the abbey and all who take refuge there. But the abbot has barricaded himself inside and filled the building with deadly traps to deter visitors. After years of isolation, some say he has been driven quite mad. He resides up there, in the tallest of the towers. If we could persuade him to give the relic to us, it would give us a tremendous advantage over the vampires. But it won't be easy.
Mad or not, damn him for not protecting his people.
Ghouls!
Not ghouls.
Ghouls! I will destroy you all! I'll send you straight back to hell!
Alright.
They will return if we don't block the hole.
I need you to push the statue from the other side, Zobek.
That's a good idea.
Thank you, Zobek.
Not that one. Let's concentrate on stopping the ghouls from coming out. You're already dead meat. They will return if we don't block the hole. Gabriel, if that statue were closer to the hole, we could cover it as we did before.
I need your help with the statue, Zobek.
Hold on, I'm coming. Back, Yuki. They will return if we don't block the hole. You'd have done better to have stayed in your holes. We have to block their escape. Gabriel, if that statue were closer to the hole, we could cover it as we did before. Gabriel, if that statue were closer to the hole, we could cover it as we did before.
You don't say.
Unholy beasts. Get out of my sight!
Zovek, help me knock down the statue.
As you wish. We delve deep below the abbey, ready to face the evil confronting us. The abbot, Vincent Doran, was once a good and kindly man.
Not Vincent Doran.
Weigall.
No.
But now he has become a devious coward who has holed himself up in the abbey and rigged it with traps of cunning. The people, unprotected, have paid a heavy price for his treachery. Night has fallen outside, and we will be open to vampire attack at any time. We must be on our guard. We must work together if we are to succeed in acquiring the relic that the abbot guards. This will help us greatly in defeating the vampiric horde later.
Back, you demons.
I can see a device which may help us open the door. You are dead.
You are dead.
Send you straight back to hell.
Dave sent me a ghost story. Oh my god. Why do I get ads? Alright, hold on.
On a spring afternoon in 1883, a young woman named Sarah tidied up her farmhouse
Dave
in a
wants
tiny
us to listen to
settlement
this.
called Eagle Creek in Arizona. While Sarah cleaned, her sister Elizabeth took a bucket outside to get water from their outdoor spring. So Sarah and Elizabeth actually lived together in this farmhouse along with their respective families. The American West at this time was sparsely populated and dangerous, so it was not uncommon for families to kind of band together like this. Their husbands herded the sheep and worked the land, while Sarah and Elizabeth looked after the house and also took care of their collective 4 kids. And so on this day, as Elizabeth was out getting water, Sarah continued to tidy up the house with one eye on the kids, making sure they were okay. When all of a sudden, the family's dogs, who were leashed up outside, began barking really aggressively. Now for Sarah, this was really alarming, because the dogs typically were pretty docile, didn't make a lot of noise. So clearly something was going on outside. And so Sarah told the kids to stay inside, and she quickly went outside onto the porch to see what the dogs were barking at. And so once Sarah was out on that porch, she immediately surveyed the area out in front of her. Off to her left and off to her right was just rocky scrubland, and then right in front of their house was this big sandy hill that kind of obscured their view off into the distance. And the dogs, who were leashed up right in front of the property out in the front yard, they were all looking right at that hill and barking at it. At first, Sarah couldn't understand what the dogs were even barking at. I mean, she looked around a few more times to see if she was missing anything, but there was nothing happening out here. But then, as Sarah continued to stare at this hill where the dogs were still barking, she suddenly saw this huge creature emerge over the top and begin coming down the hill in her direction. It was this massive 4-legged creature with red fur, and its back was all twisted up. And on the back of this creature was this man, except it was not a normal-looking man. His face was horrible and sunken, and his mouth was in this huge grin. And as she stared at him in total shock and disbelief, she saw he was missing eyes. Now, Sarah was a deeply religious person. And so as she's watching this creature being ridden on by this person come charging towards her, all she could think was, this is the devil. The devil is riding on this red creature, and it's coming to get me and my family. And so instinctively, she just turned, bolted inside the house, barricaded the door with the kitchen table, and then rounded up the 4 kids and sat in the kitchen, huddled over them, praying to God to save them from the devil. But as she was doing this, Sarah suddenly heard this blood-curdling scream come from somewhere outside. And she knew it sounded way too human of a scream to be coming from the devil or the creature it was riding on. Then she remembered her sister was out there getting water. That scream almost certainly came from her sister. But Sarah was so scared she couldn't move. And she had these 4 kids to look after, and so instead of going out to try to save her sister, she just held the kids closer and continued to pray, hoping her sister would survive. Hours later, Sarah was still inside the barricaded house, clutching the children, praying, and her sister Elizabeth had not made another sound, and she had not come back to the house. So she's been gone for hours at this point. And Sarah feels horrible. All she wants to do is go out there and find her sister, but she just feels like she can't leave her kids, and she knows the devil is out there, so she can't go out there. But just then, she hears footsteps out on the porch, and then she hears the sound of the doorknob turning and then bumping up against the barricade. And Sarah immediately thinks, it's the devil. The devil's come back. And so she screams, and the kids are screaming. But then, on the other side of the door, Sarah hears the sound of 2 familiar voices. It was the sound of her and Elizabeth's husbands. They had come back from herding the sheep, and they're calling into her like, hey, what's going on here? Let us in. And so this huge wave of relief came over Sarah. She rushed to the door, she got rid of the barricade, flung it open, and immediately began sobbing and telling these men about what had happened, about the devil, about hearing that scream, which she believed was Elizabeth. And oh, by the way, Elizabeth is still not back yet. No idea what happened to her. And so the 2 husbands are immediately so concerned. They have no idea about the validity of the story, but Elizabeth is gone. They have to go find her. And so the 2 men, they grab their guns and lanterns, and they head off towards the outdoor spring to hopefully find Elizabeth. And so the 2 men, they begin making their way down this path towards the spring. And at first they were walking, kind of keeping their composure, but quickly, as they're calling out for Elizabeth and not getting a response, they just took off running. And as they turned the corner and they finally saw the spring, they also saw Elizabeth. And she was face down on the ground with blood all around her. She was dead. And so as Elizabeth's husband wept over Elizabeth's body, Sarah's husband rode off into town to get the local coroner to come out and investigate to see what happened to Elizabeth. The only thing that seemed fairly obvious about Elizabeth's death, at least to the 2 husbands, was that Elizabeth looked like she had been trampled to death. There were all these hoof prints all around her when they found her. And so the coroner, he comes out and he looks at the scene, he sees Elizabeth, and he agrees that it looks like she was trampled to death. However, when he examined the hoof prints that were all over the place, they were way too big to be a horse's hoof print. And so the coroner literally said, I can't say she died by being trampled by a horse. This was not a horse. And so the coroner wound up speaking to Sarah, who would tell him all about, how the devil came over the hill on this big 4-legged creature that was all red, and she heard the scream, which must have been Elizabeth, and so the devil has trampled her sister to death. That's what happened. Now, the coroner agreed with Sarah that very likely her sister had been trampled to death by something gigantic. However, he didn't believe the actual details of Sarah's story. He did not believe that the devil killed Elizabeth. And so ultimately, because the coroner just couldn't be sure what actually happened here, he wound up listing Elizabeth's cause of death as just unknown. But the coroner's doubts did not stop the story of the devil from spreading. Before long, basically everybody on the Arizona frontier had heard about the devil and the strange creature he rode, to the point where they were given a nickname. Together, they were called the Red Ghost. Still, most people who heard this story didn't really believe it actually happened. They figured it was kind of a joke or maybe an exaggeration, just sort of lore passed around town. But over the next few years following Elizabeth's death, sightings of the so-called Red Ghost became much more frequent and more strange. Many campers claim to have seen the Red Ghost trotting through the Arizona wilderness. In fact, some of these people claim that in the middle of the night, the Red Ghost would appear and trample on their tents. One cowboy claimed he got close enough to the Red Ghost that he was able to actually lasso its neck. However, the Red Ghost, in turn, took off so quickly and so powerfully that the cowboy got dragged and had to let go. And so stories like these, run-ins with the Red Ghost out in the wild, persisted for years, until about a decade after Elizabeth's death, this farmer in eastern Arizona happened to look out his window, and there, standing in his turnip patch, was the so-called Red Ghost.
Not the
and
turnip
this farmer
patch.
had heard all the stories about the Red Ghost, and he had already made up his mind about what he would do if he ever ran into the Red Ghost, and that would be to shoot it. And so what did he do? He grabbed his rifle, he leaned out the window, and he fired. The Red Ghost crumpled to the ground right in the middle of the turnip patch. Once the creature was down, the farmer rushed outside and ran up to the carcass to finally see what the heck the Red Ghost was, what was causing all these stories to spread over so many years. And when he got out there, in and actually looked down at the red ghost, he knew immediately that all the stories about this creature had been wrong. It would turn out the red ghost was not the devil riding some supernatural monster. Instead, the red ghost was a combination of two very mortal beings. The first of these two beings was a creature that, if you saw it today, you would know what it was. But for folks in Arizona in the late 1800s, they would have no way of knowing what this creature was. They'd
Grizzly
never
bear?
seen it before. It had red fur, long neck, and a humped back. It was a camel. It had been brought to the
What
United States
camel?
from the Mediterranean to help haul supplies through the western frontier.
Oh my
and it
god.
escaped captivity. But this camel alone was not responsible for scaring the people of Arizona. What terrified the people of Arizona and created the legend of the red ghost was the rider of the camel. When Sarah saw the rider on the camel, at first she thought it was a person. But when she looked more closely, she saw they didn't have eyes and they had this disgusting toothy grin.
Skeleton strapped to a camel? Is this real?
They just couldn't be human to her. And so she had decided this must be the devil. But it would turn out her first instinct was right. This was a person. There was a person on the back of that camel. The devil on the back of the camel was a man's decomposing corpse. And because he was a decomposing
yes,
corpse,
dude.
his flesh and eyes had rotted from his face, making it look like he had no eyes and gave him this huge toothy grin
Fuck
because there was
yes.
no flesh there. Now, we don't know who this man was or how exactly he died. All we know is at some point he was riding this camel escaped, he died, and somehow...
How is this not an A24 movie? With like people seeing it and like describing it, and like we never really see the whole monster, like the Ridley Scott like alien treatment, and then at the end we get like an unveiling of what it is, sort of like in Brotherhood of the Wolf, where like you realize what the monster is like a lion that's been forced into captivity. Like, man, this would be such a cool movie with like the shimmery like mirage of the heat in Arizona coming over the hill. Some weird red thing like shimmering around. Not quite sure what it is.
didn't fall off, and his dead body remained in an upright seated position on this camel. And then this camel just roamed around Arizona for years with this corpse on its back,
Fucking
giving the
rules.
impression that it was the devil riding on a monster. Today, the Red Ghost remains a local legend in
Fucking
Arizona.
awesome.
In fact, there's even a permanent statue of the camel in a small Arizona town called Quartzsite.
Fucking sick. That rules. That rules so much. Man. Thank you, Dave. That was great. Now back to the real terror. Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
I need your help with the
That's
crowbars
fucking
on that.
awesome. What a
That's a good
great
idea.
story.
Go through to the other side, quickly!
That should be a movie.
Don't you dare touch me! Get out of my sight! I'll send you straight back to hell!
Straight back to hell. You know what? I made this look like a tube, but I don't think I want it to be a tube. I think I want it to be a flat embossment.
Abbott has protected himself well. We need 2 keys to get out of here.
To get out of here. I think I want to do something like this.
There is one of the keys we need.
fucking rules. Still thinking about the camel.
Zobek, help me with the crowbar.
Zobek!
Hurry! I can't hold on for much longer.
Do we do art challenges? Dave does on his Discord. I don't. But if you join Dave's Discord, he does art challenges.
Support the next slab, quickly!
Quickly.
I can't hold it. Hurry.
Support the next slab before we are locked in here.
Hurry. Prop up the next slab.
Quickly, or we die!
Oh my god. That bastard Abbott.
Here is one of the keys we need.
What a bad line. That bastard Abbott. What a terrible line. Imagine agreeing to do this as Patrick Stewart. I'm gonna be in a vampire video game.
There is a strange device here.
But also, hold on. I don't know if you're still listening, Dave. Does that mean that that girl got trampled to death by a camel with a rotting corpse strapped to its back?
I need you to hold the device steady, Zobek.
I didn't even go back to the origin of the story. Can you imagine having never... You don't know what a camel is. You've never seen one before. And one with a rotting corpse with a fucking skeleton face tracks you down, chases you, tramples you to death. And the whole time you're getting stepped on by a camel and dying and bleeding out and getting crushed. You're looking up, screaming at a dead body, flopping around. Oh my god. What a terrible way to go. Fucking nightmare.
Sobek, hold the device steady.
I'm coming. Go through to the other side, quickly! You are dead. I'll send you straight back to hell. I will destroy you all. I'll send you straight back to hell.
I need you to hold the device steady, Sobek.
Hold on, I'm coming. Go, go! Cross over now!
Oh, cloven hooves. That plays into the devil thing even stronger, book music. That makes it even better. Right. That's fucking awesome. That makes it even better. Giant cloven hooves.
Hold the device steady.
I love
coming.
that.
Go through to the other side, quickly!
Go through!
Well done.
Well done! I
Traps laid in the
fucking
aperture
hated how
were
casual that
and
was.
yet we have managed to
Well
break
done.
into the inner cloisters, and the library is close at hand, if memory serves. My friend looks weary and
If memory
the weight
serves.
of the world on his shoulders.
It might not.
I can see he is holding a terrible secret deep within. He is trying to bury it, and in its place, the anger is taking over. We must not delay.
Patrick
We
Stewart
must find
is
Doran and
phoning
take
this
what we
in
need
so
before we are
fucking
dragged
hard.
down with the guilt.
Holy
The
shit.
need of the many outweighs those of the few now. We can shed no tears for those lost. We must be strong, and we must destroy the Lords of Shadow. at any
Holy
cost.
shit, Patrick. I'm so sorry. Patty Stew. You are phoning this in, but I can't blame you. I can't blame you. This game's dog shit. Some cool art direction, though.
I'm
I'll
sure
get-
there must be a way of entering the library from here.
What? A big undead knight.
I'll hold them back.
All this just to make an axe look like a chicken. shoulder up. I mean, my elbow up. Drawing from my shoulder is making my shoulder
Here it is.
hurt so much.
I found it. Get out of here. I'll keep the trap door open.
Hey, book music. When's the Brimfield Fair? You still want to go to that? Oh, dang. Okay, then I can't go. That's too bad. I missed it again. Okay, we'll go in July. Try something here. Try pulling this way back just to see. No. Oh, fall might be fun too, actually, once it cools off a little. Yeah, maybe I'll do the fall. I love when the music just stops in this game so much. Just gives up. Just epic music swelling and just turn the volume down on that. Let's focus on this other shit. I don't want to stop the stream. But holy shit. Oh. Whew.
The tower at the Abbey of Wygol was once a place where men of God sought knowledge and protected the people with Christ's love. Now it is the
They said Christ in a Castlevania game instead of God? Whoa. That's a first.
refuge of a man driven insane by fear.
Fucking cringe, dude.
His people to death or worse. A powerful relic keeps the vampires at bay, and we must take it if we stand any chance against the Dark Lord's minions.
Castlevania loves
I know of a
Jesus.
secret way that will take me to the top of the tower by a different path. Gabriel will have to find his own way.
That's
for now.
so fucking funny, actually, to say Christ in a Castlevania game. In the name of Jesus Christ, I'm here to smite you. Like, me and Dave make that joke in our second Steve book. Super Christian warriors. Like, it's okay if you imply it, that it's like God and stuff. It's really weird to make that jump and actually say it. I feel like Japanese games always avoid that. This is everyone's reminder, if you haven't done it, to go watch Makai Tensho Samurai Resurrection. One of my favorite films of all time. About a Japanese Christian priest who leads his forces into battle and is slaughtered and offers his soul to Satan in exchange to raise the dead and let him conquer Japan. And only Jubei, the Ronin, can stop him. The priest goes around and revives the dead bodies of ancient folklore Japanese people like Musashi. Such a dope movie. Such an awesome pulpy idea. It's a halberd. B-A-R-D. Guys. We did it. I probably should rest my arm, but I haven't gotten enough work done this week because my arm's been so fucked. I'm drawing so much slower than usual. It's stressing me out. Yeah, it inspired Ninja Scroll pretty directly. You mean right-handed? I'm a lefty. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I have the power to do that. I'll just do the smart thing. I'll just keep going until it's physically painful, and then I'll stop. At least I won't be drawing this weekend. I won't be home, so I'll get a good 48 hours of rest. True. What would that be? You misdextrous me? I don't even know what that would be. You misappendaged me? You you mislimbed me? I don't know what it would be.
Where's the abbot?
Inside.
Oh my god. Ascardo do debe e do bada baba. Or with skiba do debe.
No! Get away from me! I know who you are. The devil has sent you. You are demons who serve him. He told me you'd come. He does it to torment me.
Your people perished while you hid behind the one thing that could have saved them. You don't deserve to call yourself a man of God.
Gabriel.
Wow.
No, it's mine.
has a need far greater than yours.
Uh-oh. Get chomped by vamps,
Cannot
dude.
take it. You are not worthy. Don't leave me here, you dogs! Curse you! Damn you to hell!
Ade, skada, oda, ada. Uh-oh. Don't you hate it? When your religious mania and zeal leads to someone unknowingly working for the devil to come and steal the only artifact protecting you from the children of the night. Don't you hate that? I know I do. I gotta chill with these 700% zooms.
Help us.
What is it? What's happening?
They want you, sir. They want you alone. You must go to the village, or they will kill us all.
You do realize it's a trap.
I know. But still, I must go.
Do what you must. I'll take care of the boy.
This is like store brand Geralt of Rivia.
The power to defeat the vampires is now in our hands, and that bastard Dorin has no doubt met his maker. If anyone deserved death, it is he. No one will shed a tear for his miserable life. Countless others have met the same fate by his hand. The quest is going well. We have what we need to confront the Dark Lord, and I sense Gabriel's determination to see this through. The vampires must know we have the relic, and I'm sure they will move to stop us if they can.
I'm sure they will stop us. Listen, I did rewatch Rogue One after watching Andor, okay? I didn't like Rogue One. Andor did make it better, but not much better. Andor is just in a league of its own, okay? I think this is working, right? This like rooster design in this halberd. I think this works. Looks like a crow. Well, that's a shame.
Catch this if you can. You will die, like your fellow brother.
Dave wants me to listen to another horror story. It's got the flaps, but they're designed into the contour of the axe. I could maybe drop this down a little bit to emphasize it. I could maybe, like, do that. That might help. Could maybe do... keep playing with it.
Wygol village is safe for now. The vampires have lost one of their commanders, Brona, and news
Brona.
back to the Dark Lord quickly. This is a blow, but it won't take long for them to regroup. Luckily, one of the villagers has revealed to us a secret path into the demon's castle. This will lead Gabriel into the sewers, and then up into the very jaws of death. The villagers called him God's Savior, and his weapon they called Vampire Killer. Ah, Gandolfi, how that would make you smile. As for me,
Ah,
once
Gandolfi.
my business here is done, I shall follow my friend and aid him where I can.
Ah, Gandolfi. How that would make you smile. I'll keep playing with this. Might listen to another horror story after I take a quick break. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Ah, Gandalfi, how that would make you smile. Gandalfi's smiling.
Despite his best efforts to try entering the castle unnoticed, the vampires know that Gabriel is coming. Night is fast approaching, and soon he will have to use all his wits and powers to defeat what nightmares inhabit this place of death and decay. His strength grows by the day, and yet his hate
Do I know what the game
intensifies
Last of Us
deep
is?
within.
Yes, I do.
He eats little and sleeps less.
I'm aware.
She is there in his thoughts, his beloved Marie.
I've played Last
He
of
knows
Us
that
1
his journey is
and
far from
2.
over. This castle,
I
fear,
have
will
played
push
them.
him into the abyss from which there is no escape.
Alright, gotta take a quick break. I'll be right back. Today's goal is to get this halberd and the other little metal bits done. No. I'm fighting this.
It seems getting into the castle will be more difficult than first thought. Gabriel will have to navigate the maze gardens. In this place, a man can be lost forever, or devoured by the creatures that haunt its labyrinthine corridors.
Not the maze gardens.
These gardens were once the most beautiful in all Europe, and many pilgrims would visit the castle grounds from lands far away to witness their timeless beauty. Now they lie wasted and rotten, decaying as their master lives on.
Wow. Alright, this is feeling better. Yeah, it's feeling better. What's up, Sharky? Good to see you. I can't decide if I want to make the eye sunken. I think I want to make the eye sunken. But just out of curiosity, let me do it quick. That's not bad either. I don't want it to be like super three-dimensional either way. Like, I like to be flat metal with etched. Okay. No, I gotta go with the sunken one. All right. Yeah, like a brass relief. The way they used to etch weapons like this. I've got a couple references up. Now Gabriel goes into the spooky castle, and oh, it is spooky. What spookiness awaits him in there, I cannot say. For hundreds of years, the spookiness has gathered in such a castle, the most feared in all of Europe. But in Christ's name, he shall overcome. It's still so funny to me that this game said Christ. It's so fucking funny to me.
Time is running out. Night is almost upon us. Soon the castle will be swarming with vampires. Those who are the most powerful of their kind are able to take on the appearance of high-born humans. Gabriel must be on his guard now, for appearances can be deceptive. I have heard that in this place one may face one's deadliest foes without realizing it until it is too late.
Cool. Is this the last bit for this piece? No. Definitely not. I gotta do stuff I gotta do stuff everywhere. But this one's the least finished out of all of them. But yeah, I gotta do stuff everywhere. I know, but if you were to print it, it wouldn't look done. It only looks done because you're looking at it small. It's mostly cleaning stuff, like over here. Like these aren't rendered. These shapes, stuff like that. No, I don't think I'm big enough to be doing like embossings for prints. I don't have enough people wanting to buy my stuff for that. I don't know who would even buy this, but I don't know who wants like a super fancy children's book illustration hanging on their wall, but we'll figure that out later. Well, Sharky, I know you would. Because you're my special boy. And my number one Wiggly. A friend of mine reached out and told me that they thought the values on my stuff, if I boosted them a little bit, you could put them into laser engravers for like wood fairly easily. I thought that was a funny idea. They wanted to try it with one of my Elden Ring pieces. It's so crazy how long I fought to get my Twitter back. And then when I finally got my Twitter back, it was X and it fucking sucked. And it's like unusable now. Fucking stinks. I'll have to check out Bliss Guy.
Hello. Have you come to play?
Oh my god.
The board is ready for you. Do you like it?
I'm looking for.
Don't you want to play?
I'm here for the Dark Love.
I'll tell you where she is. If you play my game.
She?
Mother
Jeez.
doesn't like visitors. But I'll show you where she is. If you play.
I don't have time for your games. I must find her now.
Then I won't help you.
Fine.
You won't ever find her. Only I know the secret way. I'll let you make the first move.
Gabriel had never played chess before, but he knew that the king stood smoke before fire.
It's not fair! I want to win! But you have earned the right to continue on your journey.
Hold on.
It's not fair!
We don't get to see it? Hold on.
It's not
Come on.
fair!
I want to see the
I
dumb
want
chess
to
game.
win. But you have earned the right to continue on your journey.
She has the body of an innocent child, yet the wits and cunning of a seasoned predator. She will kill Gabriel in a heartbeat if she could. Beautiful Laura, who was turned many centuries ago, has lived a lonely, cruel existence ever since. Gabriel will have to be very careful from now on, as he can be sure that her mother, the one who commands here, is now fully aware of his presence, and that Laura herself still has some part to play in our tale.
I want to see the dumb fucking Harry Potter evil vampire chess game. It's a Castlevania game, finally. It's true. Castlevania can be anywhere, if you believe. I do want to at least do a sketch for the bat enemy in Zelda today. It might just be a sketch, but I do want to do it. I gotta make it not just a bat. I gotta find a way to make it cool. And I think I know how to do that, but I have ideas.
butcher who commanded the castle kitchens fed the corpses of the dead to the ghouls. The efficiency of the queen's household is formidable indeed. The vampires drain the blood, and the ghouls feed on the remains.
Not the
Nothing is
ghouls.
left. Using his powers is making Gabriel far stronger than I anticipated. He will need more than physical prowess when he faces her. She can put a glamour upon his heart that will tempt him to forget everything he knows, even his beloved. She holds the next piece of the mask, and I fear that he will fall at the last.
Bleh. Bleh. Sure. What's going on, Chase? Getting ready to switch over to sketching a new Zelda villain. My arm is fucked though, guys, so I don't know how late I'm gonna be streaming. My shoulder's starting to really hurt. There's a music cue in the Hunger Games that sounds almost exactly like that. Oh, 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 oh. So when I was lifting, I lifted too much weight and I hyperextended everything in here. So I can't flex it or extend it too far or it really starts to hurt. So instead of drawing from my elbow like I normally do, I have to draw from up here. I have to try and move my stylus like this. And I'm not used to rotating this that much, so it's seizing up. Yeah, I'll stop soon. I can't believe I'm such a dummy. I don't know why I fucking did that to my arm. I was going to the gym every day, and I wasn't taking breaks between arm days and leg days and things. I was doing the same routine every day. And, I don't know. I didn't think it was enough weight to hurt me. I didn't think I was doing enough that it could injure me, but it totally did. Because I'm a fucking idiot.
This part of the castle was once where acclaimed scientist Friedrich von Frankenstein conducted his experiments into artificial
Frankenstein's in
life. He
this?
was quite mad and often
I know he's in the original Castlevania, but I didn't know he was in
trying
this.
to discover the secrets of life itself.
Oh
His own
man.
demise was equally gruesome. The vampire queen took him, but kept him alive, thus over many centuries.
I didn't
She
know
fed on him
Frank was
daily,
in this.
keeping him at the brink of death, yet living and aware. Why she did this is only known to a few. She once loved life and loved living things.
Bro, when I
and
was 20,
before
I
she
never went to the
became
gym.
Lord of Shadow, she vowed she would punish Frankenstein for his vile acts. As a Dark Lord, she was able to keep her word.
I didn't know Frankenstein was in this game. Holy shit. You're winning me back, Castlevania. You're winning me. Winning me back, Lords of Shadow. Let's see what you got. Let's see what kind of Frank you got for me. It better be dope. Oh, both. Hell yeah, dude. This game's winning me back. It was after the game, but it might have been before the movie. It was definitely after the game, though. Prince of Persia was like PS2. This is PS3. Yeah, this game took influences from a million things. I'm sure Prince of Persia was in there. Tons of God of War in this game. It's essentially a God of War clone. They turned the Castlevania whip into the Blades of Chaos. Fuck, my arm. I haven't seen anything about Marathon. What's going on? There's a scandal? What's the scandal? Did they really? To look into that. That's pretty crazy if they did, though. That's cool. She should sue the shit out of him. Yeah, she should sue the shit out of her. Is Marathon the new, like, Bungie game? I've heard so much about Marathon, but I don't know anything about it. Is it supposed to be the new, like, Destiny? If I remember correctly, Sony purchased Bungie, right? And then basically Marathon was made for Sony, am I right? Yeah, she should. The artist should sue them. I guess the question is, did an artist on the team steal her work and throw it in the game? Or was it a more top-down directive? I guess that's ultimately what it's going to come down to, is like, who took the work. It doesn't matter. It could be that a studio in Sweden did it. Like, I know it's exciting to just assume the worst of a big company. Like, it's fun, I get it. But, like, there's a very real scenario where they did outsource work to a company in Sweden, and someone on that team in Sweden did steal the stuff. There's no way for them to know that it was stolen if someone stole it. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that there's no reason to believe that that's not true. It's very, very possible that that's exactly what happened. Regardless, the artist should sue whoever's responsible. Or they should pay them. But yeah. I had my work stolen by a company in California. And when I went after them legally, it was because they had hired a freelance artist who stole my work. And yes, the company was ultimately on the hook for it because they're the ones that published it. But they didn't know that it was stolen. They hired a third-party freelancer who stole my stuff. Or, you never know, the person at the outsourced studio trained an AI on artists they like and it just scraped a bunch of the girl's work. Also possible. They took down the work. It was a cease and desist. It would have costed me more money to go to court than I would have gained from the lawsuit. So it was a cease and desist, and they ceased and desisted. I wouldn't have gotten more than $10,000 from a lawsuit for it, and it would have costed me more than $10,000 to file the lawsuit. So, yeah. But yeah, they did take the work down. I was never given the artist's name because I have a funny feeling the artist was related to the company. They wouldn't give me that information. I bet it was someone like hired their cousin or some shit.
Gabriel has finally defeated Frankenstein's abomination. This hellish place is enough to thwart any
Did I miss Frankenstein?
Gabriel
Weird.
has finally defeated Frankenstein's abomination. This hellish place is enough to thwart any man's resolve, and yet Gabriel seems completely willing to continue to the bitter end. I hardly recognize my old friend now. A steely resolve has taken hold, and compassion is now gone from his heart. He doesn't sleep these days, more's the pity. He just
More's the
rages
pity.
world, and those creatures
He
that
doesn't
dare
sleep
to
these
confront
days, more's the pity.
This next challenge will tax his mind further, and I fear it may break it forever.
What an insanely bad read. More's the pity. Patrick Stewart ain't giving us his best work here, guys. Alright. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna sketch a Zelda enemy. I don't think I got it in me. Fuck. Gabriel doesn't sleep these days, more's the pity. I'll take a break in a few. I got stuff I gotta do. I got household work I gotta do. Hopefully, pushing a vacuum around isn't gonna hurt. Whew. Yeah, the last 3 episodes of Andor were pretty good. The middle 3 were my favorite. All the stuff on Gorman was the strongest stuff. Last 3 episodes are pretty good. They're not bad. But, man, those middle 3 on Gorman were... That was like some of the best TV I've seen. Let alone the best, like, Star Wars. Was just some of the best TV I've seen in a really long time. Was shocked. Is Andor the best Star Wars from Disney? I think it's tied with season 1 of The Mandalorian. I think there's two flavors of Star Wars. There's the political intrigue, world building Star Wars, and there's the magical space sci-fi adventure fantasy Star Wars. Andor is the first one, and Mandalorian is the second one. If you're really into the prequel stuff with like the Senate and like Palpatine taking over and like all that, Andor is much more that. And if you're into the original trilogy, you know, the Force, weird magic, destiny, space adventures, you know, ragtag group of character, you know, fun adventure stuff, the Mandalorian first season, some of the second season really captures that feeling super well. So I think those are the two best things Disney's done with Star Wars. My personal, it's weird. I think both of them are flawed. I don't think Andor has enough Star Wars in it to fully like scratch the itch for me. When it's good, it's incredible. Like those those middle 3 seasons in the second season. Sorry, those middle 3 episodes in the second season are like, those are incredible. If the whole thing was that good, it would be my favorite thing. But it's not all that good. There's a lot of slow burn build up. There's a lot of establishing stuff. There's a lot of taking your time to put the pieces together to have that payoff. And, you know, that stuff's all good, and I understand why it's there, but it's not super entertaining, especially on a rewatch. So when Andor is good, it's great. It's like the best. But yeah, The Mandalorian just it's a different flavor. It's more like, you know, if you're coming to Star Wars for like space battles and, you know, weird sci-fi magic and like destiny, and yeah, Mandalorian's more that. It feels more like the original trilogy. Yeah, it's just two different flavors. The Mandalorian Season 1 feels like the original trilogy. And Andor feels like... I will say Andor's the best, like, new thing. The Mandalorian's a lot of more of the same. It's a lot of the same things you've seen before done in a new way. Andor is just a new thing. It's just a really, really good political drama set in that universe. But yeah, in terms of the writing quality, I think Andor is by far the strongest. In terms of what feels like Star Wars, I think The Mandalorian is probably the strongest. So yeah. I think he uses intimidation a few times. I think there's a lot of scenes. I think the weakest stuff they've done is probably Book of Boba Fett is like absolutely garbage. And then the Acolyte was, I didn't even finish it. It was so bad. But yeah. Skeleton Crew was like a fun little thing. I don't know. It wasn't like terrible. It wasn't like amazing either. But like, man, Book of Boba Fett sucked. Holy shit. What a fucking letdown. I thought Ahsoka was pretty good, but you have to watch Rebels to get anything out of it. If you haven't seen Rebels, then Ahsoka is probably one of the worst things they've made because it's going to be so confusing. If you have seen Rebels, it's pretty good. It's like a 7. If you haven't seen Rebels, it's probably like a 3. If you have seen Rebels, it's like a 7. But it's like literally a sequel to Rebels. I don't like it's weird to me that they did that. Like you have to be completely invested in the Dave Filoni storyline to get anything out of that show. Oh my god, I forgot about the Obi-Wan show. Holy shit. That was also completely unnecessary. Like it wasn't like the worst, but it wasn't good either. That's so funny. I completely forgot about the Obi-Wan show. Wow, that doesn't bode well.
It's not fair. I never lose.
Wow.
You're a cheat. And you're going to pay.
Wow.
Now, play with my toys.
I rewatched Rogue One after I finished Andor, and I really don't like Rogue One. I feel like it could have been really good. I feel like the big battle at the end, the star, all the stuff in space with the fighters is really cool.
How dare you break my toy!
Like all the action stuff is really well done, but like the plot doesn't. It just feels silly to me. Like the way they marketed that movie, I know there was a lot of reshoots. They marketed the movie as a team of spies infiltrating the Death Star and stealing the plans. And I assumed that the reason it was going to be dangerous and high stakes is because they had to sneak onto the Death Star, and that the plans for finishing the Death Star were on the Death Star. Because why would you keep those plans somewhere else?
That isn't going to help you
And
now.
also, they keep the plans in a library with all of their other secret plans. There's like a massive library of all their secret projects all stored in one place. Like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know. Them going to like a weird tropical planet just because they wanted it to look like, I don't know, like World War II. I think that was like the whole reason they did that ending. We want it to look like a Saving Private Ryan battle. Like, feels very weird to me. I feel like the movie would have been stronger if they had to sneak onto the Death Star. But yeah, I don't know. That movie's very weird. I will say if you watch Andor and then you go straight into Rogue One, it does make Rogue One better. It does, like, it is a very clean transition. Tonally, it's a little weird, though, because they use a lot of the big bombastic Star Wars music in Rogue One. And they don't do that in Andor, so you go from, like, a very dour, serious thing to, like, like, it's very jarring. But
Don't resist. Embrace.
they did a very good job of transitioning from Andor to Rogue One to A New Hope. If you watch all three back to back, it's actually very smooth.
Marie. Fight it, Gabriel. This is not your time. Not now. Too much relies on you.
I have nothing left. I have done questionable things.
Andor has some good music, yeah, but it's not the same as the John Williams music. The John Williams music is like, compared to the Andor music, it's almost campy how over the top the John Williams stuff is. So when you go from Andor into Rogue One, it's like a completely different vibe. Like you start hearing like the Force theme and all the big, like it's like, it's so operatic and orchestral. The Andor stuff is a lot more subtle. But yeah, it's good. Crazy how well it transitions into A New Hope.
Curious, isn't it? Love can be a powerful weapon, it seems, even to those who are dead. Love has spared him. Though she has the
Oh,
power to
Patrick.
take his life, she has given it back.
You're trying.
For love.
You're trying so
Perhaps she
hard.
remembers her true mother's arms around her, comforting her before she became this creature. Perhaps she remembers the feelings of love thought long lost to her heart all
Patrick's
those
trying to
years ago.
save this dog shit.
A child's love is without bitterness or boundaries, a pure love. I wonder what will become of her, this lost soul, when we kill her present mother and send her to the pits of hell where she belongs.
Where she belongs. Very good. I feel so bad for this girl. I wonder what's gonna happen to her when we kill her mom and send her to fucking hell where she belongs. Piece of shit. Stupid bitch. I feel so bad for her though. I will say the music I hated the most in Andor was when Mon Mothma's daughter gets married and they bring in that DJ droid to play like house music. Oof. Oh boy, was that not Star Wars. I was like, who the fuck approved this? This modern fucking Deadmau5 music. So fucking cringe. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to believe that this is the music they're listening to at this wedding. And then 5 years later in a cantina, the most popular song is like, that's what I'm supposed to believe? These are the same universe? Karuskin? Let's take that again. Does she even say that line in the movie, or was that only in the trailer? This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel. I don't remember that. I don't remember her saying it in the movie. That's so funny she doesn't say it in the movie. So I'm not crazy, right? In the original trailer, isn't there a shot of her dressed up in Imperial armor, sneaking through the Death Star? There is a scene of that, right? There's a shot of her dressed up in the black, like, Death Star guy armor, sneaking through, like, a spooky tunnel in the Death Star. And they just cut that out, right? They're like, actually, no. We're gonna go to a tropical planet with coral reefs, where we have a big library full of secrets. Because that's cooler. they're cool, but they just feel like World War II. It doesn't feel like Star Warsy. It just feels like, I don't know. It just feels like a scene from the Pacific or something. Yeah, Killian Ing does great work. Disney loves wasting talent. Like, you're gonna put Mads Mikkelsen in Star Wars, and you're gonna make him some engineer who dies. That's what you're gonna do with Mads Mikkelsen. You're not gonna make him like a Sith or some evil dictator guy or a crime syndicate underworld boss. You're not gonna. You're just gonna make him an engineer who gets shot and dies. Like, same thing they did with like the Doctor Strange movie. Oh, Mads Mikkelsen's in the MCU. He's, you know, a Doctor Strange who wears orange. The end. He's a Doctor Strange that wears orange instead of blue, and then he dies. Like, what a fucking waste. Yeah, he should have been there. I know everybody wants the guy that played Krennic to be Doom, but I'm sorry. You can't have a Doctor Doom with a lisp. Like, Doctor Doom is just a voice behind a mask. You can't have him have a lisp. Yeah, that would have been good.
The vampire's mercy is playing on his thoughts. I see that clearly on his face. Perhaps Laura reminded him of poor Claudia. Seeing his beloved Marie again has brought it all back to him. Marie's love is all he has now. And the
Oh,
hope of
Marie.
holding her again, the only hope. He is close now, close to the bitch who commands these vampire vermin. Gabriel will make her pay for the injustice.
The problem with Edward Norton playing Doom is, can he do an Eastern European accent?
There is just the small matter of the Clockwork Tower to
Can he?
overcome first. Another mad invention of Frankenstein that I hope will only delay his sweet revenge.
Also, Baldwin's voice is good, but it's very up here. Now I know that I shall never live to see 30. Blah blah blah. It's very. You want Doctor Doom to be like lower. Yeah, I agree. Alright, I gotta give my arm a break. It's starting to really hurt. But I love you all. And I'll see you soonish. Maybe tonight. If not, after the weekend. I'm away this weekend. But I love you. I gotta get my arm a rest or it's gonna really hurt. So I'll come back later if it feels better. But oh,